What's good? What's good, fam? What's good? All right, today we are going to check out some bus compression. We are going to sample the plug-in version of the SSL bus comp 2, as you can see here, and the analog clone bus comp by Scape. We're going to compare these two here in Cubase. As you can see, the analog summing, the plugin is on this master channel here. And the bus comp is already recorded. It was recorded through the analog bus comp by Audioscape. So let's take a look at the settings. I tried to keep the settings as close as possible when we are doing these comparisons. As you can see, the threshold is at 0. As you can see here, the ratio is at 2. As you can see here in this image, I have the attack at 30. It should be 30, 0.30 milliseconds. We don't want a fast attack, want a slow attack to allow the transients to come through. And the release, slow release. We don't want fast release or anything like that for audible pumping or certain effects. We don't need that. Have the makeup gain at 0. I also have the sidechain filter engaged in, and the reason why I have that in to allow anything that's up to 160 hertz to go through without being compressed. Okay, so we want the bass to go through. So this is what this sidechain filter is for. Let's go to the plugin. Here in the plugin version, I try to get, have the settings the same as this as best I could. As you can see, the threshold, actually, on this change on the threshold here, this is an image that I had to take, but this threshold here is actually is all the way to the right, as just like the one here on the plugin. So I just wanted to note that right there. So it's not actually at 0. It's all the way to the right here. Whatever number that is at the bottom, I can't see that well, but which I don't want no compression to be engaged or any compression to happen while we're listening to these samples. So both of them are actually in the same position here. The makeup is in the same position here, as you see here in the makeup, 0 here, 0 here. The attack is in the same position as you see here. And attack, it's on this side. You can't really see on this left side of the image that I took, but it's at 0.30 milliseconds. The release is at the same position here and the same position here as well on the Audioscape. The ratio is at 1.5 and the ratio here is at 2. The reason why I have it at 1.5 here, because when I have it at 2 here, there's some compression that's going on in the plugin. So when I have it here, there's really no compression going on. So to match it up, to try to be fair and even it out, so I have to bring this ratio down a little bit so I can have less compression going inside the plugin when we engage it in. Okay. Obviously, that's a dry wet mix here on the plugin, but we don't really have that here on the analog G-Bus clone. Okay. But we do have here on the plugin the sidechain as well. And I have it set to 160 because here on the Audioscape, their settings it's automatic when you engage this switch is 160. So a high pass frequency 160 down here at the side chain. So I have this set at 160 to be fair again and to match everything up. Okay. So that being said, that's the little overview of the plugin and the analog clone bus comp by Audioscape SSL bus comp. All right, so let's go ahead and take a listen. let's listen with, here's the sum track that I have here, right? And I didn't sum through the DAW. I went out. I have a analog summing mixer that I sum out of. So this is the summed channel. I mean the sum mix here. Also, what I did was with the sum mix, I routed to the bus comp. So the bus comp, it went through the bus comp, the audio scape, the sum mixing went through here. And you can tell if you look at the wave sizes, they're different. Okay. So this is already processed through the bus comp. So we don't really have to do no switching on and off. We're already good there. We're just going to have to do it here because the plugin is on the stereo channel, which I have disengaged. All right. So when we listen, we'll turn it on and off. So let's go ahead and take a look at just the plain analog summing. Let's listen to it. I'll solo it and I'll play it. Okay, so that's with no compression. I mean, with no plugin engaged, no bus comp compressor on, that's engaged on this summing channel here. Now let's go ahead and turn off the bypass button and let's hear it with the SSL plugin. And let's see if it's making a difference or whatever. As you can see, just a little bit compression as it's doing from the input portion of it. Let's disengage it. Push it back in. Okay, so typical little glue going on, typical. All right, so let's see, compared to this SSL plugin, to the audio scape, and let's see if we hear a difference. And I can tell you right now, yeah, it's going to be a difference. I can tell you right now. Now, we're going to go ahead and go to the bus comp summing. Okay, let's take a listen to that. Let's disengage this because we don't want this in. Okay, here we go. All right, let's listen to the plugin version. let's listen to the analog bus comp version. See, I immediately hear a difference. And it's not just like volume is going up. It's actually, to me, it's more open. The analog version, much more open. Let's go back to the bus comp. It sounds like the bus comp is much more fatter, beefier, open, like more of the depth in the bus comp, the analog version. Hear the difference? Like more open. That's what I get out of it. Okay, let's go back from the beginning. Let's go back to the plug-in version. Big difference to me, big difference. They both got the glue, but it's just, to me, the bus comp, the analog version, the hardware version, appears to be more open. And I can say with a little more depth, a little more beefier. Let's go back to it. Disengage the plug-in. Here we go. Immediately hear it. And again, I tried to keep the levels of the same, the output's the same, so. Okay, here are my thoughts. So I believe in, from hearing from my ears with these headphones on, I believe that, again, the hardware version is a little more open, beefier, fatter, more depth, even a little more clarity in it to me. That's what I'm hearing. The plugin sounds great too. Don't get me wrong. It sounds great. I hear the glue in there. I just don't hear as much depth as I do in the hardware version. Okay. Now, that being said, if I have this analog version against the plugin, obviously I'm more than likely going to use the analog version on the master bus for my glue, just because of the fact what I get from it rather than the plugin. But I would use the plugin on my drum bus within this session. So it's not like I wouldn't use it, but I mean, if I have an analog version, I'm going to go for the analog version first, rather than the plugin, because let's be real with it. A plugin is not going to recreate 100% of what analog does. It's just not going to happen, So if I have a hardware version, I'm definitely going to use that one on the master bus before I use a plugin version. Okay. Now, if you don't have a hardware version, by all means, use your plugin. It's going to sound good regardless. It's gonna be great because that's all you have. So you work with what you have. But if you do have the opportunity or have that hardware gear or the SSL Comp hardware gear, probably you're gonna want to use that on your master bus. Okay, so you want to make that your first choice. That's just my opinion. Maybe you guys may think differently. Comment on it and tell me what you guys think. Have you experienced something like this with the plug-in and an analog hardware? Um, Tell me what your thoughts. Again, if I had a SSL comp actual hardware from them, it may sound different. I don't know. I never had one of those, so I'm just only hearing from this clone here, which I love it. It sounds really great and really close. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. And tell me what you guys think. Please leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and like for other great videos to come. I wanted to keep this short, and I just wanted to uh, bring this by you guys and let you hear it. You know, when you're out there buying gear, maybe you might want to buy some analog gear, and so I'm letting you hear a taste of what you would be buying. So check it out. I'm not affiliated with this company, Scape. I just bought it and tried it, and I like it. It works. And hey, it's doing great. So, again, subscribe, like, and comment, and hit the notification button. And I will see you guys on the next video that's coming. All right, fam. I am out.